PDP victory. The road now run, the journey rough. We foot strong and our we skin tough. So many that have been thrown at us. Real Spartans never give up. The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains. It's a brand new day. It's not a dream. It is for real. We have Jubilee. PDP victory. Yeah. PDP victory. Tobagonians are born fighters. Carry the genes of our ancestors. You change hands so many times, mama. To get your freedom, you have to fight back. I see the many scars upon your back.
I have found that Tobago gets more done when Tobago votes for Tobago Centric Party that does not have a base in Trinidad. Because Tobago has to mind Tobago's business now. We have not mind our business for the last 21 years. We're minding the business now.
PDP victory, yeah. PDP victory. Your enemies you shall see no more. Tobagonians will live better off. Better opportunities for the poor. Victimization it will be no more. The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains. It's a brand new day. It's not a dream.
Please remain standing. We want to call on our brother Joel Samson to come and to pray for us as we begin tonight's proceedings.
Good night to everyone. All head bowed, all eyes closed. Merciful Father, we give you thanks for life. We give you thanks for health. We give you thanks for strength. We give you thanks for another day. As we go through this evening's proceedings, I ask that you may take full control, O God. Set forth a path before us, guide us and cover us, O God. And whatever proceed out of our mouths may be of good sounding symbol, O God, Father. Continue to bless this party. Guide and cover us, O God. Keep us protected from all harm and danger. For those on the way, I ask that you may bring them safely, O God. For those watching over, let the message be spread to them, O God. Keep us and protect us throughout this election season. Keep us safe, O God. Protect us from this pandemic, O God. Guide and be with us and our families. In your name I pray. Amen.
Yeah, go ahead. Welcome, please be seated. Welcome, all of you in the auditorium. And those of you that are viewing us virtually, we welcome you tonight to another workshop session. In the spotlight tonight, we have the district of, let me make sure and get it right. They're confusing us so much. Bethesda Lescato. I said Bethesda Lescato. Any Bethesda Lescato people in here tonight? Come on, you can make a little more noise than that. So, yeah. So we are very, very happy that we are in this place. And this, of course, is our mode of campaign meetings, of course, because of all the COVID protocols that we have to follow. But we are thankful that we are in the land of the living and we can still find a way. The thing about the human spirit is no matter what the challenges are, we find a way to do what we need to do. And so tonight, we have, of course, some very exciting speakers to share different things about what we intend to do and in this campaign. And our feature tonight, of course, is the Queen herself, the representative for I said the representative for, yes. So let's keep the excitement. And we want to invite our very first speaker tonight. I said we want to invite our very first speaker tonight. He is the representative for Mason Hall and Moriah. He is a giant of a man. He is the black-white man. Put your hands together. Let us hear it for Mr. Ian Whitey Pollard.
Around the journey rough, we foot strong and our skin tough. So many that have been shown at us. Real Spartans never give up. The winds of change.
A pleasant good night to my Spartan family. Now this seems like a regular thing. Now I have to always introduce these fine, beautiful women of the PDP. I'm going to start by just talking off the cuff. I've seen Zorisha grow in the last 10 months politically. You know, this is the first time she have entered into any political. But you know, we call her like, she's like our baby sister. She's always nibbling at everywhere, making sure that she like things like the details, it must be corrected, you know. We have to always be on point where Zorisha is concerned. So anytime we have like our retreat, the 6 assemblymen, we always know we have to take the time because Zorisha is going to find some kind of thing nitpick about to bring us to that point. But it's all good. So I'm going to start by saying good evening to all members of the public present here today and those who are viewing and listening via the various media streams. Good evening, Spartans. Yes, ma'am. It is indeed a privilege to stand here to endorse the candidacy of Ms. Zorisha Hackett for the electoral district of Betelza, Lekoto in the December 60th election. The role of women in politics is trending right now, yes, and possibly for all the wrong reasons. It comes at a time when we have been for Miriam Caesar Moore, Dr. Eastlyn Mackenzie, and others across the political divide. Our current social media reality is not a true reflection of our personalities, our capabilities, and our worth. It is time to change the narrative. We have our own 5 Spartan women on this side, women of class and substance, women who are eminently qualified in the field of education, business, history, and cultural studies, agriculture, and public health, women who can walk into any division of the Tobago House of Assembly and take charge and lead in the transformation of this Tobago space. Women who can and will get the job done. The party has presented to you 5 female candidates in whom you all can be well pleased. I say all this to indicate that this party needs to rally around its women. They are the chief organizers, the healers, the creatives, and fighters. They hold us men accountable. They chastise us in private and praise us in public because they trust us to lead and take their wise counsel. The party has created an atmosphere where our women are praised and celebrated. And under the stewardship of our future Chief Secretary, Farley Augustine, women will be taking up a key leadership role in the new Executive Council. A PDP victory will usher in a new era of women leadership who our children can not only look up to, but emulate. Tonight, I want to focus on one of those women. Your candidate, Ms. Zorisha Hackett. Zorisha has morphed into the role of a sister to us all. She supported and helped guide me as a neophyte candidate in October last year, and has turned into one of my biggest supporters and cheerleaders in my role as assemblyman for my district. Zorisha has set the bar for the representation can look like. She waltzed into her role as an assemblyman with much gusto and flair. We know she likes flair. We know that for a fact. She has seamlessly transformed the skill she developed as an educator into her role as a representative for her people. In 11 short months, she has distributed countless hampers to persons in her district and assisted many others to access food assistance from the state. She, along with her dedicated staff, rolled out a widely successful skill program that trained a number of persons in academics and technical vocational endeavors, with another cycle being planned as we speak. Zorisha has advocated for the rights of educators and was part of a group who took the unprecedented stance of taking the Division of Education to court, where they were successful in their matter. That is woman. The men of this party can attest to her fighting spirit. Some will say she is the barrack in she. You know, barrack is what it's called Plymouth, right? It's the barrack in she. Barrack. But in reality, Zorisha simply cannot sit idly by and watch injustice take center stage. She will defend herself, her family, her people, and this party. She will take on anyone who comes for she Farley. That is simply who she is. To know her is to love her, and we all love her. The people of Plymouth, Golden Lane, give her a landslide victory in January. Bethesda Leketo, we'll hand her another one in 2 weeks. I stand here proud to be her Spartan brother. I know by God's grace, we will stand together on election night celebrating a great victory. And the very next day, we will get down to work of fixing this place. Tobago, let us rally around Zia. Let us rally around Natisha, Megan, Abby, and Faith. Let us not be distracted by those whose truth is only convenient when faced with reality of their lives. Let us choose the women who and will continue to make us proud. Tobago, come let we fix this. Vote Zorisha Hackett.
PDP!
PDP victory. The road now run, the journey rough. We foot strong and our skin tough.
Let's say it one more time for Mr. Pollard. Oh, come on, you could do better than that. Yes, man. Well, I am very, very happy to know Miss Hackett as well. Miss Hackett has a kind of, sometimes you see Miss Hackett step out and you tell yourself if you open up one of them fancy magazines, you will see an empty spot in the centerfold. Because like she just walk off the pages. Come on, now it's true. And I suspect, when people see somebody nicer than them, it just bother them so much that they can't find nothing good to say. Anyway. Only leave Zorisha alone, please. But the thing about it, added to that vogue, added to that flair, added to that finesse is hard work. She always doing something. She's like this, she's like a nomadic kind of representative. She here today, she there tomorrow. I suspect that if she had constituents on Giles, Little Tobago, or Sisters, she would have been out there with a pirogue every day. I'm not trying to exaggerate, it is the truth. All right, you all don't believe me. Let me call this man who will endorse what I'm saying. He has been her ride and die, or ride or die. He has been riding shotgun. I know the man good because I worked with him before. He is, in fact, a friend, and he has supported Zorisha all the way from the beginning up to present. And it is fitting to have him come to endorse Miss Zorisha Hackett. Put your hands or your feet together. Make some noise. Let us welcome the man with the beard from Plymouth. Hold on. Listen to me. I shouldn't. Listen. There are some ladies that fell in love with Niall since nomination day. I hear people say that they're going to change to go and vote in Plymouth just because of his beard. Let us welcome Mr. Niall George tonight, the man with the beard.
The winds of change blowing your way. Bust off those chains. It's a brand new day. It's not a dream. It is for real.
Big up, Kimmy. Good night, everyone. Good night to those listening on in the social media space. Well, it is with great pleasure that I stand here today, endorsing Zorisha Hackett. As Pastor Bain said, it would have been around November 2020. Me and Zia sat, and we decided to launch our campaign on Plymouth Golden Lane. As someone who ran for that seat already, my experience and knowledge of the area was vast. But Zia was the driving force behind it. You talk about a dynamo, she little, but she talawa. Sometimes I would wonder where she getting the energy from. It's like she don't want to go home at all. Actually, that's something home there that frightening you. But that is the kind of representative that you will always have with Zorisha Hackett. Now the campaign was grilling. And at times, you could see she was feeding, but I had to stand there beside her. It's either Zia or Niall. Niall or Zia. And we at the PDP understand that this is not about any one person. It is about a team. So I'm saying to Tobago, although this moment is for Zia Hackett, we have to remember, you're looking for a proper team. And when you're looking for a proper team, you're looking for a proper team leader. And when we talk about team leaders in this space, we know it ain't none like Farley Augustine. Young, brilliant, innovative, energetic. You ain't getting nothing stale like that on the other side. While them on the other side attacking Watson, Farley, Watson, we attacking issues. And we attacking how we're going to deal with the problem. I say we in the Tobago space, under PDP-led THA, are going to fix this. Now, fixing this would need some change. And change begins with each and every one of us. And for us to effect this change, we need to do something different. We can't sit at home and effect the change. We can't not vote and effect the change. If you're accustomed voting on the other side and you want some change, you have to come on this side. Now, I always stress about it. On this side, all inclusive. We cater for each and every Tobagonian. And every time I come on the platform, I will talk that. We cater for each and every Tobagonian. And we're innovative. Every time we come up with an idea, they say it's a pie in the sky. Just wait 2 weeks and hold on. The carbon copy come in. We talk about distributing lands. Okay, 2 weeks pass. The lady on the other side that wants to sit in the chair talking about distributing lands is 21 years old in charge and only in distributing lands. All of a sudden, all you know, that all you're going to be distributing lands. But folks, as I said, when it's not my time to shine, I ain't going to shine. I just warming all you up. Tonight is about Bethesda Lescatu, formerly Plymouth Golden Lane. Zia, unfortunately, you can't get me vote this wrong. I have my own district to see about. But you know the support is there, and it will always be there. To the people of Plymouth, and I notice I say Plymouth, because although our electoral boundary is drawn between Plymouth and Bethesda, if you look at any Bethesda address, Plymouth behind it. So we are all Plymouth people together. And all you're going and get 2 for the price of 1. You understand? We used to be working together in one office. Now you would have 2 offices working for you. So folks, in Bethesda Lescatu, I'm boasting because I know Ms. Zia Hackett is going to give Mr. Thomas one of the finest lickings he has ever received in his life. PDP! So PDP family, on the 6th of December, you see this finger? You see the bamboo bullifay? You see all are we? Let we come together. Put it for Zia Hackett. Zorisha Zia Hackett, and let we fix this. Thank you very much. Good night.
PDP victory. The road now run, the journey rough. We foot strong and our skin tough. So many that's have been Jonathan.
Let's say it one more time for Mr. Niall George, man. Yeah. Yeah. That is how you big up people. You understand? That's how you support people. So, because I know she has stuff to say and all of that, so I ain't going to, get on and all that. But I just have to say that this is a delicious privilege that I have been afforded, to introduce this lady, because, I observe that she's a woman of class, and perhaps that is the understatement of the decade. You understand? And like I said earlier, she always doing something, and she really cares about people. And for you to make an exceptionally good representative, you have to love people. I ain't hearing no boy. You have to love people. You have to love people. And I ain't like all this mic song, and I want it perfect for when the lady come. Just make it nice. Make it nice. Make it nice. All right? But I want you to get ready to make some noise. Now hear this. I want you the song must come deep down from your bowel area, down inside of here. You understand? We don't want the high-pitched song as some people. We want a kind of baritone song. Are you hearing me? So I want you to get ready to put your hands and your feet together, and let us welcome the candidate and the representative for Bethesda, Lescato, or Lescato, Bethesda. Bethesda, Lescato. They just confuse me so much with this thing. But from over there, the candidate for Bethesda, Lescato, that is going to also be the representative. I speak it because I can prophesy. Help me welcome to the stage tonight, Miss Zorisha Hackett. Make some noise!
Whoa, whoa. I've been here all day of my life. Works good and queer, I behold with my sight. Some will share, others do as they like. Some you flesh them want here with them fork and knife. Some don't care, their heart is like ice. After killing another every time, but I'm holding firm. Every man deserves to earn. Jaja come a plan with success, holding firm. Every man deserves to earn.
Spartans, good night. I want energy tonight, eh? I want energy tonight. Tobago, good night. Trinidad and Tobago and the world at large, good night. For far too long, this island has been crying out for true leadership. For leaders who truly reflect the people they will represent. For leaders whose roots are deeply embedded in the very district they must serve. For leaders who will make the necessary sacrifices to engender much needed development to the communities they will ultimately be responsible for. Choosing an area representative is therefore one of the most important decisions a district will ever make. And Bethesda, Lekoto, Golden Lane, and Woodlands, it is decision time once again. Allow me to reintroduce myself, Tobago. I am Zorisha Hackett. And 11 months ago, I stood on a platform in Plymouth seeking the opportunity to transform this district. I made an oath to conscientiously and impartially discharge the duties of area representative. And your overwhelming love and eventual support at the polls secured my victory. Although the 6-6 tie denied me the esteemed privilege of sitting on the executive council and providing much needed resources to you, I, through my persistence, passion, purpose-driven nature, was able to serve you, Plymouth Golden Lane, to the best of my ability. I remain connected to all my residents and embarked on a series of initiatives aimed at improving the lives of my people. These included, and I'm showing off tonight, these included, but are not limited to, because we don't have time for everything. 1, an academic enhancement program with over 900 students registered between May and now, We are on cycle 2 with 40 different classes and 25 volunteer tutors giving back of their time to the district. You don't have to sit down on an executive council for that. A life coaching program focused on imparting life skills, financial management, career guidance, counseling, and mediation to our at-risk youth. I wasn't on the executive council, but we deliver that. A food bank aimed at providing weekly groceries and lunches to those in most need in our district. We deliver that. A skills and building material bank to assist residents with light construction using both the Susu and Lenhan models. We deliver that. A district icons initiative to honor the contributions made by our elders to society, beginning with the great Lord Nelson in celebration of his 90th birthday. Simple gesture, but very meaningful. An advocacy platform to highlight your many issues, Plymouth Golden Lane, and to the concerns of the whole. An advocacy platform to highlight your many issues and concerns to the holdover executive council. We accommodated that. The initiative of a community gardens aimed at utilizing the principles of sustainable development through a marriage of indigenous farming techniques and technical management. Plymouth Golden Lane, we do things in this 11 months. Now, the district is called Bethesda Lekoto. But Bethesda Lekoto includes Plymouth and goes all the way up to Woodlands. And so ultimately, all that was separated was one polling station. The district really did not change. You have persons being a part of the Bethesda electoral district living in Lower Plymouth, and persons living in Lower Plymouth but voting in the Bethesda part of the district. So a community cannot be separated by a boundary line. Plymouth is Plymouth, Barrick is Barrick, and so my commitment remains. This has been one of the most challenging years of our lives, Tobagonians, and we are still reeling from the effects of the pandemic. These adverse effects have affected us in numerous ways, but we have remained united as a district and have been weathering the storm together. I made a promise to each of you to remain on the ground, and remain on the ground I did. You didn't only have the option of seeing me in a district office, which is the usual modus operandi of those on the other side. You had access to me in a multiplicity of avenues, including virtual town hall meetings, video conferencing, street-by-street roving, and my much appreciated and celebrated Meet Me by the Junction community outreach initiative. They say actions speak louder than words. And now my track record of the type of representation you can get from anybody on this side precedes me. Just like my other colleagues who have all remained on the ground since January 25th, I have proven that the PDP brings to you governance you deserve through representation you can trust. My dear residents of the new electoral district of Bethesda, Lekoto, Golden Lane, and Woodlands, my close interaction and involvement with you over the last year have exposed a neglected district. A district where promises are many, but fulfillment is in short supply. A district bountifully blessed with aesthetic beauty, cultural and historical wealth, and sporting and academic prowess, yet plagued by many deficiencies. I, Zorisha Hackett, your chief fighter, your prolific advocate, your servant leader, your dedicated daughter, will now present the mandate you have charged me to deliver yet again. We begin with agriculture, identification and distribution of state lands, and the PDP has been saying it since 2017, but suddenly we have the parroting on the other side. We have this as a part of our mandate ever since the initiation of this political organization. The plans are here in black and white. And so, Bethesda Lekito, you can expect that in a position of empowering you, the residents, we are going to engage in modern and sustainable agricultural practices to promote food security and food sovereignty. Agricultural planning and specialization is critical in this process, and as such, a coconut estate and an orchard, as mandated by you, will be high on the district's agricultural agenda. How we sung in? The provision of skills, knowledge, and technologies for plant propagation and cultivation with the aim of improving plant yield, quality, nutritional value, and resistance to diseases, pests, and environmental stresses is also on the agenda. The establishment of agro-processing cottages to efficiently move produce from the farmer to the end user is also a goal. And these are ideas coming from the very residents. We don't present a manifesto where we tell you what we're giving you. We present a mandate, which is what you are demanding that we present to you, the electorate. We're moving on to fishing. Now, Bethesda is inextricably linked to Plymouth. And as such, it is my earnest desire to work hand in hand with the next area representative of Plymouth Blackrock, Mr. Niall George, to fulfill my commitment to my fishermen. We will upgrade the fishing facilities at Plymouth with that direct relationship that I have fostered with the current Lisa. And Culloden, you are not far behind, because you also need some attention to be placed when it comes to fishing. We still want to promote that construction of a boatyard, and servicing and repair can happen right there in the district. Lekito fishermen, you also need access to the sea that fringes your village. All you know Lekito have a sea? Lekito has an ocean, but of course there is no access. So we have to provide that for them. We will also establish an aquaculture farm for the cultivation of both fresh water and saltwater populations under controlled environment. But as I like it how we sung in, you ask for it. I ain't giving all it, all you ask it. I ain't pushing it down all your throat, all you ask it. We're moving on to sport and recreation. Upgrade and consistent maintenance of both sporting facilities will be on the mandate. Playgrounds and parks are also going to be given focus. The facilitation of football, netball, basketball district leagues. Of course, you're in a pandemic now, but my district boasts of many athletes. And I'm showing off tonight. So many athletes, and nothing is done to celebrate their power and their input in this district. We have to do something about that. Golden Lane, all are probably tired yet, and I tell all I'm not promising all yet. All must just come to a ceremony where we finally, after your beg and your ask and your plea, this long-awaited recreation space, Golden Lane, your area representative with you is going to finally make it happen. I didn't talk about it the last time. But now y'all have given me the authority for us to make it happen. We can't get the land through state lands. We are going to partner with the public, with the private entities to get this done. Bethesda, Lekito, Golden Lane, Woodlands, together we are going to make it happen. The enactment of a sports club, which will include all the areas of track and field, netball, basketball, football, cricket, volleyball. We want to actually make these things happen by the commitment of those who have the expertise to keep the youth off the streets. The upgrade and consistent maintenance of various historical sites, because we're moving on to tourism now, throughout the district, including the Annersville Water Wheel. Where is the Annersville Water Wheel? Where is it? In Bush. The Highlands Road waterfall using the Lekito access point. You all know you can access it through Lekito. The fallen silk cotton tree overgrown in Bush, which should be a monument waiting for people to come and see the history of Golden Lane. and the plantation burial ground of Gangang Sarah. These are sites we have that we are not monetizing, Bethesda, Lekito, Golden Lane, and Woodlands, and we have to find a way to contribute to the economy through our district. We are going to use the very villagers as tour guides in an effort to monetize these sites. You don't have to look for anybody out there. Everybody in that district understands the history of this district, and we are going to create employment through that. We are going to establish a culture and arts fraternity to ensure that the oral traditions, music, dance, and arts and craft are passed on to upcoming generations. May people like bow down and them just sit down there, making their tambourine and looking for people to teach the craft. We have to do something about that. We have to celebrate those who have gone before us in these fields of culture and the arts. PDP. Golden Lane, your courtship codes. Golden Lane, your courtship codes. We have to revive that heritage production. Added to the Lekito folkland superstition, and of course Plymouth Bethesda's all-time carnival, 3 of the more popular heritage festivals right in my district. We have to find a way to capitalize on it and monetize it. We also plan to embark on a community expansion initiative using the public-private partnership model. Discussions have already begun with private landowners in the district who will assist us in facilitation of an integrated community through agro-tourism and providing sustainable employment, entrepreneurial opportunities in agro-tourism in an authentic and natural eco-tourism experience. How we sung in? Let me move on to housing now. We have to focus on village expansion, Lekito, Golden Lane, Bethesda. We have to. Too many persons are leaving the villages and going elsewhere because there's just nowhere else to build. We have to aggressively begin the construction of a minimum of 10 homes per year in every village, as per the PDP Homes for All initiative. The labor and material will be sourced right there in the district, so by providing some economic stability to it. We will also enact the PDP's No Unfinished Homes initiative. Things coming from our mandate from you, the people. Beginning with homes which commenced over 7 years ago and are incomplete. The provision of lands at a lower cost per square footage to young professionals, and these are things coming from our 5-year-old mandate, will also encourage private home construction for the working class. Bethesda, Lekito, Golden Lane, Woodlands, how we sung in, it's your plans. You sat with me while I walked on the ground, and you have brought these plans to me. They're feasible, they're practical, and so they're going to happen. We have 3 health centers in our district. We shouldn't be leaving our district to go anywhere else. Those on the other side boast about how many health centers they have per capita, and healthcare is still a challenge on this island. There is a planned conversion of one of those health facilities to a wellness center with a focus on screening, nutrition, exercise, and physiotherapy. You asked for it. I asked the expert Dr. Faith, and she's waiting to do the same in every district on this island. Infrastructure, and this is the sore point for me. Every time I walk my district, there is someone lamenting about the need for a retaining wall. The topography of Lekito and Golden Lane especially requires urgent attention to those whose homes are washing away. We are going to focus on assisting you. And assistance doesn't always mean the government does everything. Sometimes you ask these people and all they need is either the labor or the material, and they are going to pick up the slack with everything else. We have hardworking people, and they just want that hand up, not necessarily a handout. The consistent maintenance of infrastructure is our problem here in Tobago, and we know that. And so the PDP is committing to not only build things, but to maintain them. We are going to complete the roads, so many access roads. You're seeing how much money is being spent on access roads. And when you go and see where the roads are leading to, private individuals who just looked for that, you know, the bubble and the corruption does go. And the people who really need it don't get it. But we are going to prioritize these types of development. There is also going to be the construction, and I said it in January, the construction of a protective services post to house the police and fire service in that district. Such an important district, and we have nothing on the north side. And I'm seeing my colleague, Mr. Pollard, he put up a big billboard showing off, taking away my shine, right? But Mariah Mason Hall fringes my boundary. And so whatever they have is also ours. And Mr. Pollard,
PDP!
Lekito, you have also been complaining about your community center for a very long time. All the tired here promises. We, I want to say we, not the THA, your area representative, and you are going to fix that community center on our own. We're not going to no executive council for that. We are going to use that same Lenhan model. We are going to come up with the material, and we're going to make that our first community-based project without direct involvement from the THA. Let me start somewhere. We're moving forward to me, baby, now. Education. We will continue this district's pilot project of the academic enhancement program, which started in May. We're currently in cycle 2. On Monday, my class is waiting on me because I'm also a tutor, and that is how you lead, by example. We are going to continue this initiative because we realize that so many students are falling by the wayside, especially in this time where virtual education is not penetrating the minds of those who need it. And so this program doesn't only cater for students falling on the wayside. We also cater for the gifted students, those who get bored easily because they're above the level of the class. And so we have to continue with this initiative. Our future chief secretary was a teacher, and I know when I go to him and I say education must be the focus, education will be the focus. There is going to be the establishment of homework and research centers in those community centers that stay locked up all day, wasting time. Let us utilize them. They are going to be staffed by returning graduates, retired teachers, and other community leaders where we can get the youth off the street. Let us focus on education. But education is not only about books, it's about skill and training. And so the continuation of a life coaching program for at-risk youth will be on the agenda. We are going to introduce trade schools on this island. Communities must prepare our youth in the skilled trades. These will focus on developing students' technical abilities in skilled and mechanical work. The enactment of a scholarship program for top performers, because students need initiatives. They need that inspiration. They need something to drive and push them forward. So we are going to embark on a community by community scholarship program from primary to secondary and from secondary to tertiary. You perform, we reward you accordingly. My dearest residents of Bethesda, Lekito, Golden Lane, Woodlands, and Tobago by extension, the last 21 years have been plagued by corruption, cronyism, nepotism, fiscal mismanagement, and limited development. And as a result of this, you have not received your just dues. You, the residents, have made me aware that you are not satisfied with your standard of living, that you are not impressed with the rate of development on this island, that you do not think goods and services were equitably distributed to residents, that you are not given an opportunity to participate in the decision-making process, that you do not believe that the PDP was treated fairly during the 6-6 deadlock. And so now, my residents, it is time for you to choose. It is time for us to fix this. As one of the PDP 6 who won my seat through an electorate's democratic right to choose, I feel disrespected. Persons have been complaining that they don't understand why, and I'm speaking from the heart now, why 12 individuals were elected, but only 6 got that respect, that privilege to serve in the way all were expected to serve. And so Tobagonians, if it's one thing you must remember when you go to the polls on the 6th of December, is the fact that you had 12 but only 6 were called up yonder. But you know what? This was a blessing in disguise. This gave us the opportunity to really prepare for governance. It gave us an opportunity to govern in constraint and with restraint because we didn't have anything. People talk about it all the time, eh? Miss Hackett, you were a teacher before. Things probably nice with you as an area representative. And when I tell them what the salary is of an area representative, not that the salary means anything, but when you have over 4,000 or 5,000 persons depending on you in the way they have depended on us in the last year, and you are a go-getter like me, and you're passionate about people and you love people, sometimes you leave yourself undone. Many days I open my kitchen cupboard and I'm asking people on video call, you'll accept this? You'll accept that? Leaving myself undone for my district. And the thing about it is, you can't go to people and try to explain what you could and can't do. They elected you to serve, and serve you must. And so this isn't a job for the faint at heart. This isn't a job for fame. This isn't a job to try to accumulate any type of fortune. This is a calling. And if you are not prepared to fully serve, you're wasting your time in this field. You are. And so Tobagonians, with 2 weeks before the most important elections of your lives, I and my 14 colleagues are depending on you to finally ensure that Tobago wins. This isn't even about the PDP. This is to ensure that Tobago wins. Tobago, you have an indigenous Tobago-based party at your fingertips. One that was born out of your soil. One where you have Tobagonians who are passionate, purpose-driven, and track record-based like me. At your doorsteps, knocking and imploring that you give us the chance. And so on the 6th of December, between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., we're starting from Pollard to Lansamy Speyside. And we want you to put your X next to Farley Augustine, our next chief secretary. PDP! And we're coming down the road. Roxborough Argyle, your chief fighter, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke, and we're ramming the X next to that name. And we're coming down the road. Your Spartan Empress, Dr. Faith B. Israel. And we're jamming the X next to that name. And we're coming down the road. Megan Morrison, Mount St. George Goodwood. And we're planting the X next to that name. And we're going over the road. Ian Whitey Pollard, jamming the X next to that name. And we're coming down the road again. We're going in Bacalet, Bagatelle. Natisha Charles Pantin. In between 2 Jackson, she coming to hang one. We're ramming the X next to she. And we're coming down in the capital now. We finally want Tobago to look like something to be proud of. Trevor James. And we're ramming the X next to that name. We're going down west now. They said 3 times is the charm. Wayne Wasp Clark. We're ramming the X next to that name. We go down and come back up. Oh gosh, that was supposed to be his seat, but it's all right. He had time to train and prepare and get ready for them. Joel Nazi Sampson. And we're ramming the X next to PDP. We're coming up and across now. Listen, the kind of energy again from him. Sonny Craig. You have a task set. But that task is one you can bear. We're ramming the X in Bokomong Pleasant. And we're coming up now. The pastor. Here's a gospel concert in Bethel. But Pastor Terry Baines. PDP. And it's not 17 and nah. He walk. So we're ramming the X in Bethel, New Grange. We are somebody who we are to rail. Mighty man. Tatus. We're going up to the hills. We're going up to the hills. And we're running people who don't belong there. The man from Yard with the big walk. Nigel Tate. Ramming the X. Signal Hill Patience say. Oh gosh, I see people boasting. But you're not to boast. Actions speak louder than arguments. So Abby Taylor. Darrell Spring Wim. We're ramming that X for you. My brother in Plymouth Blackrock, who never left the ground since 2017. We're ramming that X in Blackrock, Plymouth, Wim. The area big, eh? The area big. All Bethel people voting for him. All Orange Hill people voting for him. All parts of Wim people voting for him. So we're ramming that X for Niall George. Who I forget? I forget anybody? I thinking. Bethesda, Lekito, Golden Lane, Woodlands. You gave me a job in January. We warm up. Resume came in, apply. I get the work. We're moving into a new building. It's time for me to really deliver to you. You see my potential and time for me to deliver. Bethesda, Lekito, Golden Lane, Woodlands. We're ramming the X. We're ramming the X. Next to your girl. Your chief fighter, your prolific advocate, your daughter the soil, passion, purpose, personality, performance, Zorisha Hackett. And Tobago, we're not losing focus. Them think them are the best strategy in the world to try to distract Spartans. Not this time. They try Calcutta ship. They say pick up side. And every time a political party is on the cusp of victory, they sit in their war room and try to come up with a strategy. Failure this time. Failure this time. We have seen through the tricks. Waste of time. God has ordained this victory. And nothing but him can stop it. And so on December the 6th, you Tobagonians have a responsibility. And we...
where we have to hear from our chief secretary candidate. I said we have to hear from our chief secretary candidate. They say when tree are no fruit, nobody don't pelt it. You understand? And I think what has happened is that this gentleman has come on the landscape, young, intelligent, level-headed, passionate. And I guess when you look at the leaders on the other side, as they say, it's like chalk and cheese. And that is no exaggeration. You must talk the truth. You must talk the truth. And so there are several strategies to try to distract and to try to bring down and all kind of thing. And people make the mistake and try to blame somebody else for the mistake and all that kind of stuff. But we have to keep focus. I said we have to keep focus. And I want you to know tonight that I have the distinct privilege. I am a happy man. I am a happy man. I have these privileges from time to time. I have the privilege to introduce one of the most intelligent young politicians on the planet. Oh, you didn't hear me, boy. I have the privilege tonight to introduce to you a young politician that has intelligence par excellence. Would you make some noise tonight and help me welcome the man from the east? Help me welcome our chief secretary candidate, Mr. Farley Augustine.
I'm holding on in order to stay around in a life terribly imbalanced. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing strong cause I realize
Good night, PDP family. Tonight we have been having some challenges with the internet connectivity. And so I want to make sure the internet and the communication working good, because I don't want nobody from Tobago to miss anything I'll be saying tonight. So Master Control, tell me if we're ready to go. We ready to go? Are we ready? Tobago, good night. PDP family, good night. If you're watching, share the live so that those who got bumped off before will be bumped back on. Share the live. I know I said a nonsense talking across in Mason Hall, but share the live. When we hear the plans laid out for the district of Bethesda, Lekoto, we know that we're not into skettle politics on this side. Share the live. When you hear Brother Niall and Brother Whitey spoke, and every single time we come here, we ask our area reps to talk about the plans for the area. Share the live, because we have to ensure that everybody gets this message. Because this election, nothing will distract us from where we need to go. And I understand this game so quickly. You see, the devil does always try to find a way to move you away from your purpose and your calling. And when they see you going along your good road, bad road does just come out of nowhere. But you see the devil busy, and he's like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. But we are Jesus' pitney. And so the devil could do what he wants. Nothing will stop the PDP party from getting there on December the 6th. So are we ready with the live, Master Control? We looking good? Right, so we ready? How much we at? All right, so share it back on all the pages and the WhatsApp groups. So, because I don't want nobody to miss any part of this message. I don't want anybody to tell you them say. I want you to get it from the horse's mouth. And this is a winning horse in a race that PDP will win. So share up them lives and tell them, come on, let's hear about the plans. Tonight, I want to start by, first of all, commending Team PDP and the team of candidates that we have in this election. I want you to, make some more noise for the team we have. PDP! Because when I look around at my team and look at how my team just minding the business, walking from sun up to sundown, from house to house, door to door, putting in the work, I said, this is the making of a high-quality executive council, and that is what we want. PDP! And that's why I commend the team. And Palativere, Lansmith, Speyside, we will be in our area on the 28th of this month. So you will get to hear how I lay out the plans for your area. And you will get to understand that for the first time, a chief sec will come from country and will make priority rural development. And so we get in there. Stay on board. Tonight, if I am to give my message a theme, it will be called Get Out. Get Out. 2 words. Simple instructions. In fact, get out! Exclamation mark. And this theme comes because I looked at a movie done by Mr. Jordan Peele. And in this movie, Get Out, a young African-American man, he accompanied his girlfriend, his white girlfriend, home for the first time to meet her white family. His white girlfriend's name is Rose Armitage. And he's there meeting her family, and as he's there, he starts discovering some dark secrets in that house. And he starts discovering how this family in the antebellum South was holding black people captive. Even while there, he had to pick cotton in order to free himself. Why am I referencing this movie tonight? I'm referencing this movie tonight because as I spend time between Friday and now, thinking about Tobago, my mind reflected on the need for us to get out. Because when you find yourself in captivity, people tend to use a kind of fear tactic on you. And there is power behind fear to hold you down and to keep you back and to keep you entrapped. But I know a power that is greater than fear, and it is called love. I know that we this time can get out. And so in this election, what PDP is calling upon you to do is to get out. You're in bad house, get out. You have wicked leadership, get out. You have people masquerading as being agents of love, but they only love themselves. They're selfish, get out. And I'm saying to you, no more than ever, you have to get out. Don't leave them there to come and bounce me down in tongue afterwards to complain and say, Farley, you have to talk more for we. We tired talk. We're talking till we throat dry. It is time for us to get out. And I don't want to leave anybody behind. And the first person I have to address, as I beg you, this island to get out, is my competitor, Miss Franca Corner. And this is the first time I am even calling her name on the political platform. The first time. And I will be very brief, because I am not going to overshadow PDP's mandate with their distractions and with their nonsense. I will not. It's not worthy of it. We have too much issues in Tobago to be distracted. Too much things not do right to get distracted. Too much of madness being pushed down our throat as good governance to be distracted. But I must address what are some serious allegations. Last week, Thursday, the allegation was made that somehow I was directly or indirectly responsible for the leaks and or leaking of her videos. And, you know, I listened to her and I said, my God, this is a beautifully talented young lady that is entrapped in the wrong house, that has to get out. And so I am now even more emboldened, not just to win my seat, because you could mark down my name and PDP sign for Palliative lands to Miss Payside. That ain't going to change. But I am more emboldened now to win and become the next chief secretary, because I have to save and rescue people like my good friend, Miss Corner. I have to rescue her. I have to save her. And last week, Tuesday, I was at a meeting in Bonaccord, heated meeting in Bonaccord. And while there, a gentleman from Mason Hall called me and showed me on his phone some videos with some dancing. First time I saw those videos. But as I got home later that evening, or that night, I recognized that people were talking about it all over social media. And I didn't sleep good, because I said, but, oh gosh, why do the young girl this? I even saw it pop up in one PDP chat, and I immediately said that has no relevance in the politics. Because let me tell you, I only care about what is relevant to the politics. And I tell you tonight, that is irrelevant to the politics. And it was on my mind so heavy. I get up early in the morning, as I accustomed doing, to pray. And I said, maybe I should pray with this young lady, because it's my good friend. So I called her, and she did answer the phone. I said, girl, I called her to pray with you. And before I could pray, she said, yeah, but before I pray, let me tell you something. The first thing she said is that she believed that one of my workers was responsible without my knowledge. So she said, you ain't know anything about it, but it's one of your workers do it. And she called the name of the worker. I said, all right, fine. I will deal with that. I said, I will call that worker immediately as soon as we finish praying. And I will also want you to call him and talk to him too when I am done talking to him. I prayed with her. And perhaps my biggest downfall is that I have too much of church in me. Too much of God in me. Right? So I believe in the good of people. You know? Because it is unheard of in politics anywhere in the Caribbean or even the world where opponents just call each other and pray for each other. Unheard of. He doesn't care. He just want to destroy your opponent and keep it moving. But for me, this is one of my students, and once a student of Farley, always a student of Farley.
PDP!
And any good teacher will tell you that you will make every single effort to save every one of your students. That's what teachers do. In fact, she herself said I might be better as a teacher than a politician. And perhaps it's because we never had good teachers in politics. Why Tobago like this? Because I assure you, of in London as a teacher was not in my class as a teacher. Dr. Rowley as a teacher was not in my class as a teacher. And so they can't bring to the table in politics the kind of compassion and love for people that I will bring. And so I prayed with her. I called the worker in question. I'm talking about this is early morning, 4-day morning. I told the worker, I said, you have to come by me and bring your phone. Let me see who on your phone. Let me see where sent and who sent what to who. When I investigated, I realized that there was no truth to the claims. But I still called her back and I said, you can call the gentleman yourself, but I investigated, and as far as I'm concerned, there are no truths behind your claim. Notwithstanding, I proceeded to tell her, I said, look, in addition to praying with you, I prayed with one of my prayer partners who is out in the US, and we prayed for you too. And I'm impressed to tell you, be very careful, young lady. What you eat, what you drink. And I told her, I said, your own party is out to destroy you. I also told her, I said, they are trying to set up a narrative of teacher versus students in some kind of heated war or battle. I am not about that. Be careful. Don't let a sour relationship. I respect your politics. You respect mine. I also told her, I said, there is only one of those audio tapes I believe has relevance. And that's when you made some broad political claims on Twitter Space. And whether you feel hurt that they're out now or not, you were the one who put them in the public space. I told her that. And I actually agree with some of those political claims you made then. In fact, I told her, I said, like you, I agree that when PNM in charge in Trinidad and PNM in charge in Tobago, we just have problems. It don't work. I told her, I said, like you, I don't believe that Ansel Dennis was a good chief secretary. So we agreed there too. I said, like you, I don't believe the Tobago Beyond slogan was the best. No, well, I don't think Bago Dog is better. But I think we need to do some work in tourism. And I told her, I said, I understand your point of view because you are trying to see what we can use to attract domestic tourism. So I agree with you. And I told her, I said, I can't vex if PDP or I use that recording because that has political relevance. But all the rest have no political relevance. She asked me, she said, but I hearing there's a tape with me and Ayana. I said, well, I have not heard any tape with you and Ayana. I have not heard it. I said, if I hear it, I will tell you. As God will have it, later that morning, I did hear it. In fact, it popped up in one of our chats. 1 million people forwarded to me. In the space of 5 minutes, I've seen forwarded many times. That's to tell you how viral this thing went. And I messaged her, I said, I heard the tape. I will not send it to you. We will not use it. I am giving you the commitment, we will not use it. And I am telling you, pray, dust yourself off, and go about your day. This is my opponent, who I am telling to pray, dust yourself off, and go away. But then, on Thursday, I heard the most remarkable things being said. Now just drink some water. The most remarkable things being said. All of a sudden, what's the name end up in the conversation? That morning, Watson Naaman called in the conversation not even a single time. Yet, all of a sudden, the claim being made by her political leader is that I called her to warn her that there was a series of attacks to be made against her and that Watson might be behind it. I think I need to ask the current area rep for Plymouth, Golden Lane, Plymouth, Lecato. Now you're the area rep for the whole thing now. I plan to ask you to go and ask Lord Nelson to send me a special copy of that song. Teacher Percy. Because I cannot understand how a simple conversation with a prayer led to this whole talk about Farley do it and Farley expose you. And let me be frank too, to borrow a word. No pun intended. None of the things she said or has done was ever done because of me. I am not the reason or the cause she said the thing she said or did the thing she did. So why the hell must I take responsibility for the things she said and the things she has done in the past? That's not my business. Yes, as a teacher, I have covered for you many times. I may have prevented you some suspensions on many occasions. I may have stood in the gap for you against other teachers and said, nah, you can't punish it. Or when they said Farley or spoiling, I said, nah, you have to give she a chance. And I am telling you, Miss Corner, that even now I am going to cover you again. I will continue to cover you in prayer and cover you in love and respect. And I will cover you by winning this election and ensuring that the first person I take care of after winning is you. Because you have to get out. You have to get out. You don't see it as yet. And I know you will see one day how they're trying to destroy you. You see, in 1980, when Burning Spear sang that song called Columbus, and he said that Christopher Columbus was a damn blasted liar. I never knew that Christopher Columbus had a daughter in Tobago. PDP! And it is evident to all and sundry that his daughter is Tracy Davidson Celestine. PDP! I have not met a single individual who is as pathologically mendacious as that woman. And that is just a fancy way of saying the same thing Burning Spear said. Damn blasted liar. And I am saying it now, I will not be addressing this issue again. If I have to address this issue again, I am working with lawyers and going straight to court because we are not time to be distracted with this nonsense. PDP! We don't have time for this. And so, Miss Corner, you don't have to worry about whether I hate you or not. I still love and respect you. And I love and respect your family as I have always done. And I will cover you as I have always done. And I will continue to pray for you. I just wouldn't call you to pray for you again. But I will pray for you and send the Holy Spirit to guide and protect you as I have always done. Because I am insisting that I become a politician that is different from those that have led you over the last 21 years. PDP! And so I told you that we need to get out. I told you we need to get out because when we look at the Tobago space, when we look at the direction of our economy, when we look at where we are heading, if we don't get out now, it might become impossible to save Tobago. It might just become impossible to save this place. And last election, it featured heavily about the zipline issue. And I've seen it surfacing again. And maybe some of you did not believe me when I told you I have the evidence and I have the papers to show. But now you see other people with the papers that I had long time. And I told you all it was always there. And I know they ran to court just before the election, hoping that the court action will prevent me from talking about it and linking them to it. But let me tell you something. I have courthouse clothes. I have courthouse clothes to carry people court and to go on my own behalf. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that stops you from talking about it. But this issue and this election is not about zipline. Zipline is just symptomatic of the bigger disease that we have on the island, the bigger political disease. So I don't want you to get caught up in the zipline talk, because the issues are bigger than that. They are realer than that. I want you to understand that what we are seeing before our own eyes are a group of people who are insistent on holding you bondage by using fear and deception and lies and wickedness as tactics to keep you controlled. It's mind games. Mind games. Imagine the big prime minister could be in Mason Hall tonight. Take his good self, fly up from Trinidad. Big man like he, to stand up platform and say Farley is an imposter. Farley going to make Watson Duke Secretary of Finance. You ever hear PDP tell you Watson will be Secretary of Finance? You ever hear Watson say he want to be Secretary of Finance? But those tactics will not work in this election. And then when they're done with that, before I came here, I saw an unbelievable news story. The chief secretary said they're carrying the zipline company to court. Well, I say, why are you carrying them to court? Because I asked about this in the last session of the THA. The then Secretary of Tourism, Miss Nadine Stewart Phillips, she said that the THA took a decision when they pay for the zipline that they will store the parts in some storage facility in Miami, and that the storage bill was well over $100,000 US, right? Close to $1 million TT dollars, and that they weren't sure if they were going to continue with the project. So why are you suing today? Why are you suing when it is this very chief secretary told us that the division responsible for the zipline have the materials and have the zipline lock? Why are you suing when they say already had 85% here and all now you can't carry the media there? You see how they're pathologically mendacious? It's an addiction. It's chronic. They need psychological help. They need help. They need help. And I'm saying to you, the issue has to be bigger than the zipline. The issue has to be with how we have governed over the past 21 years. And yes, we all know that we do not get enough monies for capital development expenditure. And our current expenditure bill is high. But Tobago's biggest problem is not money. Tobago's biggest problem is honest management. The lack of honest management of our resources and the political will to drive the community of Tobago in another direction. And that's what this campaign is all about. That's what this campaign is going to be about. And so I tell you tonight that over the next 2 weeks, we have 2 weeks starting tomorrow for this next election. And I want to tell you some things that we will do over the next 2 weeks, because I want you to be part of our conversations. As I tell you, this is the last and only time I hope to address these issues, because anything after this is straight with my lawyers to deal with, because we will not be distracted in this election. But over the next 2 weeks, you can see from us the revelation of our complete mandate. You have been hearing it in parts. I spoke to you about plans for agriculture, plans for land and housing. I spoke to you about the economy. I spoke to you about autonomy. I spoke to you about tourism. I spoke to you about sports, including the fact that Tobago will finally get its first motorsport facility on the island. I spoke to you about social welfare and how we create the social welfare network and safety network to treat with our people who are in need. I spoke to you about a social contract, and I mean business with that social contract. Even with Mr. Duke, who they're saying I will not be able to fire. I could fire him anytime once he breaches that social contract. And I said it in front of his face, and I'm saying it to the remaining 14 candidates, that you have to honor it too. And I'm saying to you, Tobago, we are almost there. We are going to roll out the plans. Every single night we have meeting, a different district will be the focus. Tonight was Bethesda's focus. On Thursday, the focus was Bagatelle Bacolette. Tomorrow, the focus will be Bethel New Grange. And so we'll go down the road. We are trying to avoid, in this campaign, large motorcades and large groups of people outside. Today was perhaps our deadliest day with the COVID-19 pandemic. And we have to be very responsible. And so what will be happening is that your area rep, and I'm calling them area rep from now, will be coming through your district. We will have these spot meetings earlier in the day, and we will assemble at the virtual space for the final meeting in the evening, where we will get to go live with you. Next week, in fact, perhaps on Monday, but next week, I will share with you next week and reveal with you next week some evidence showing how they have been using your money. And I tell you, Zipline small. I will reveal some evidence of how they have been using your money. Remember, my name is Fact Finding Farley. And I have found several facts that I will reveal to you. Because you cannot become fearful in this season at all. You cannot. And so I will show you that, and I will show you how we will govern differently. Because I'm not showing you the evidence just to be scandalous and just to get the headlines the next day. I'm showing you the evidence of what has transpired now, and I'm going to show you how we are going to govern differently. Because that is what is required in this season. I also am putting it out there now that in this election, what Tobagonians should really be getting is a good debate between the chief secretarial candidates. And I'm putting it out there now because people have been asking me. I was on board to Warwick show, he asked me. People ask me all tonight, will you do a debate? Let me put it out there. I am ready for a debate anytime. Come, let's have a debate and let's debate the issues. PDP! Let us forget this kettle politics and let us debate the real issues with clarity about how we are going to govern and what we are going to offer to Tobagonians, especially post-COVID. I am ready for that, and I'm making myself available for that. Find an honest and good host who will strike a nice middle ground, and you have a debate on your hands. I'm ready for a real debate on the real issues. Because night after night, I've been sharing with you several plans from several industries. And night after night, you know, sometimes you go home, you wake up in the morning, and you don't see much of the plans on the news. They take the pickings and make them headlines, and you don't get to see the plans. And I think Tobagonians deserve to know the plans of every candidate for their area. That's why I've been insisting that when area reps come here, they come here and present the plans for their respective districts. Tonight, because of time and because I had to address the distractions, I will share with you some plans for one single area. And that's the area of fisheries. And I'm sharing with you some of these plans because we were in Boko a few nights ago, and Brother Sonny started sharing some of the plans with regards to the fishing industry. And I tell you, Boko Mount Pleasant, sunny days are really ahead. Eh? Yes, sunny days are really ahead. You had a cloud over your head for the last 40 years. You never vote anybody else in your life. This time is different. This time is different. You want some sunshine right now. Yes, you need some dry weather right now. Rain alone and gloominess and darkness is not how you grow and develop. Plants need sunlight to create photosynthesis, right? To have food to grow. And right now your growth has been stifled because you have rejected the sunshine for so long. But I tell you, sunny days are ahead with Comrade Sonny Craig. And as we talk fishing, one of the things we have to look at is that we have to manage our fish stock in Tobago. We have to do sufficient research on what is going on with our fish stock. And yes, I know there are officers in the division with fisheries that very often, very frequently, they go and they find out from the fishermen what kind of catch they had, the amount, and so on. But we have to go even more in depth with that. We have to look at ways, secondly, to protect our fish stock. And right now, Tobago does not have the rights. But when you hear fishermen complain that they're bouncing up Bajans and Venezuelans and all kind of hands out there, taking more fish than we, and destroying our fishing industry with their unsustainable fishing methods, then that is something we have to look into. We also indicated that we will provide proper jetties, we'll have proper indoor and outdoor facilities, we'll provide the necessary security for fishing communities in designated areas, so people ain't going to be thieving your boat engine in the middle of the night and so on. Proper lighting, ice, access to ice. We also told you that we will explore the possibility of fish farming. We told you that we'll ensure we have proper slipways at our major fishing areas and venues. We also talked to you about the fact that we have to secure our fishermen. And I want to pause there for a while. You have to drink plenty of water tonight. You see, I don't drink water, I don't drink rum. So it's water. And when I talk about, now I'm not drinking no punching either. Neither will the people of Belgarden and Morgan be drinking any punching.
PDP!
Thank you very much for that timely pick-on. Yes, we're talking about the protection of our fisher folk. It is far too frequent that fishermen will wake me up in the middle of the night because someone of their colleagues is lost at sea. We can't find them. Or fishermen will come in and complain. The boat broke down, the engine broke down, and we call in Coast Guard, and Coast Guard say we have no fuel, we have no boat, the boat in Trinidad, the boat break down. All kind of excuses to help rescue our fisher folk. And some of our fisher folk do some good miles going out to sea. Some going all the way out to where the oil rigs and so on are. In our waters, by the way. Tobago waters, by the way. Going out to fish. And we have to find ways to protect them. And if the Coast Guard wouldn't do it, then the THA must step in and do it. And we are giving the commitment that we will step in and we will do it. We will step in and we will fix it. We told you that we will ensure fishermen, by this point, everybody should have GPS locators, so that when they're in trouble, they can easily send their coordinates to someone on land. We told you that we'll ensure they have access to flares and even satellite radio. The satellite radio is a bit expensive, but we will look into subsidizing the cost of satellite radio for our fisher folk. We will ensure that every single one of them, when they're leaving, they have adequate life vests and that they are abiding by the laws when it comes to protecting themselves out at sea. We also told you that we will set up an infrastructure whereby a fisherman is out at sea, Coast Guard cargo, we can provide the fuel for other fishermen to fuel up the boat as quickly as possible and head out to help them. I ain't asking you, I'm telling you, there are many times somebody lost at sea and we had to be up and down. Gas station closed, we had no fuel, we had to borrow fuel from this one, that one, patch up, to go out and look. And that is wasting precious time while a fisherman is out there lost or in danger at sea. And so we have to protect our fisher folk because it's an important industry for Tobago. It's important because it is one of those areas that we can get into some agro-processing. I've already said it. Tobagonians should not just be enjoying the dry fish or the smoked fish all by themselves. We should be in a position where we could offer this to the rest of the world, where the dry fish is properly branded, properly packaged, instructions on how to prepare it, and that you should be able to walk in Price Mart with pride, not to buy it because you're buying it home, but walk in there with pride and say, hey, this making Tobago, this making Tobago, this come from right in Pollard, this come from up in Charlottesville. Look here, you reach far, you're on Price Mart shelf. And I told you the way to do that is for the THA to take over the marketing of our agriculture and agro-processed foods. Take care of the marketing so we can help move the product from the farmer, from the fisherman, all the way to the end user. We spoke to you about the need to treat even seriously with the lionfish issue. And yes, there have been many NGOs trying to get rid of the lionfish that is invasive and that is helping to destroy our reefs. But we have to disturb their breeding patterns and try to get rid of the lionfish. We also spoke in our mandate about negotiation with oil companies because, and I have to stick up in here, because if you're drilling in our waters and you're disturbing the profession of the fishermen, you should compensate the fishermen. And the THA will stand behind you and demand your compensation. We will demand it. And in addition to compensating fisher folk for when you disturb their industry, you have to support the fishing communities in a bigger way. You can't extract from here and then put back nothing in here. And it's not for the oil companies to give money to the THA for the THA to waste it. It's about supporting small communities, small fishing communities, so that they will have the best education facilities, so that they will have the best community institutions, so that they will have the best for their young people. And above all, I told you that when we're talking fishing, we have to have a serious conversation with the central government. The central government has retained responsibility for international relations. And in fact, the Prime Minister should have come here to tell us how they're going to stop outsiders from invading the waters and indiscriminately fishing in Tobago waters. Instead, he come to talk foolishness. But we are going to have conversations about that with the central government because it's our waters. Yes, I believe in CARICOM, and yes, I love my CARICOM brothers and sisters, but they must come here on our terms and conditions, and it must not be at the expense of our fishing industry. We have to protect our fishing industry, protect our fisher folk, and ensure that we create a safe and sustainable way in which we can extract these resources from our waters. And of course, I must, and I'm using of course plenty tonight. Might be a space sighting. And of course, we are going to ensure that when we are discussing the autonomy issue again, that Tobago waters must be part of the package. Must be part of the package. Because we have to be in a position to manage and treat with our environment, our waters, our resources therein, protect it, use it in a sustainable way, and determine how we monetize them. And the way to do that is to take control through the legislator at Jerningham Street. And so Tobago, I want to keep saying to you, Tobago, I want to keep saying to you over and over again that in this election, it cannot be about allowing anybody to distract you by fear. Don't get so concerned about the 1,000,001 fake accounts out there spewing garbage and slander and libelous stuff. Don't get distracted, because this election you have to remain focused. This election we have to dig in our heels and ensure we get to a place where we go fix this. in this election, we cannot afford the absence of clarity. We can't afford to not know what you plan to do for us. And the election cannot be an election where every meeting all we do is call the names of each other. And so I am giving you a commitment tonight that I will try to avoid calling the names of any one of them, or even calling the party name after tonight. I have addressed an issue that they raised. I have made it very clear that I have not been responsible directly or indirectly for any leak or anything. I have made it clear I am not taking responsibility for the young lady's actions. She will take her own responsibility, and she and her party will work that out. I've made it clear that I'm in this race even for her, because I want to save her from her deadly party. I have made it clear that in this election and over the next 2 weeks, we are going to build out our mandate in an unprecedented manner. I've made it clear that every meeting that you will hear commitments and plans from your prospective area representatives. I have also said to you that we will be coming and knocking on your doors even more so over the next 2 weeks. I am saying to you, Tobago, tonight, that we can really do this. And I want you to know that the reason why all of this is being spewed now is because they are seeing the handwriting on the wall. They have seen the hand come from behind a corner through the door and just writing on the wall. And they have seen that Babylon is about to fall, Pastor. But you see, they didn't realize that they were coming up against the son of a Rasta man. And nobody else knows how to burn down Babylon than a Rasta man. And more so the generation of a Rasta man. Babylon is about to fall. And so they're in panic mode. They're in panic mode. And so they have pressed the panic button. And I expect over the next few days that they will outrightly lie to you. They will outrightly tarnish our character. But I assure you, my back is broad. I assure you, as I said to you when I introduced myself to you a few days ago in our video, when I am stressed, I just pray plenty. I just sleep a little bit more. And I just cook food. So you know what that means? It means I expect over the next 2 weeks to pray even more than I've been praying already. To eat well at the end of my prayer and fast every day. To sleep better than I've been sleeping before. Because I know that my God has this locked down already. And so I tell you, Tobago, I need you to be in this race with us. Every one of us, we put ourselves out there at risk to stand in the gap for you and to cover you. And I want to tell my candidates over the next couple of weeks, when they say ill things about you, when they use their fake accounts to slander you, to say all kind of things, to call people prostitute and pedophile and who licking what and all kind of shoppiness, when they do that, shake it off. If you want to cry, go home and cry. Don't let us see you cry. But come out, put on a brave face and fight. Because this battle is not for the faint of heart. And in this battle, we don't need to shed blood. In this battle, we don't need to slander anybody. In this battle, we don't need to share videos of anybody. We just will kill them with love. We will kill them with kindness. Because my Bible says that you must feed your enemy, give them water to drink, and in so doing, a heaping coals of fire upon the head. And I understand some of them not accustomed to good treatment. So when they get love from even the enemies, they don't know how to behave. They don't know how to respond. And I'm saying, let us make the next 2 weeks a campaign about love. Let us double down in our districts and put in the work. This election is not won yet. Elections are only won after 6 p.m. on December the 6th. And so don't think it is won as yet. Dig in your heels. Do more work. Talk to some more people. You have to help us canvass, because we may not be able to reach all of you, but you might be hearing this message. call somebody else. Tell them, Farley, just talk something about the fishing industry that interests you. Send me a message. Just this morning, I read a message from somebody who wants me to address the issue of the marijuana industry. And I will treat with that in the coming days too. Because people want us to discuss real issues. People want us to debate real issues. Let us debate some ideas. Tell me how you have a better plan than mine for developing our business sector. But part of the problem is, when they should be coming to tell us, we don't do this already, we don't do that already, you're now coming to tell us, we got to do this and we got to do that. So what have you been doing over the last 21 years? Sleeping? And so, we are nearing home. We're almost there. And I end tonight the way I end every single night. Every single night. By saying, let us make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. And I say it because I wanted to believe it. And I'm not saying that because I might be on the cusp of becoming your leader. I'm saying it because I believe in all of your potential. I even believe in the potential of some on the other side too. Some I don't know that well. But I believe in your potential. I believe in our collective potential to fix this place. I believe we can do it. Do not be afraid. You can't learn to swim unless you jump in the water. And I learned to swim because I had some ruthless fishermen as neighbors. And sometimes when I run away and I go down by the beach as a little boy, I was swimming since I was 4 years old and still in preschool. And that was so because I will run away and be at the beach. And those fishermen will take me and just toss me in the water. Sometimes it's a comfort boat ride. And you happy. You go on Goat Island in the boat and you enjoying yourself. When they come back, they just dock up the boat far out from shore, anchor the boat and say, well, you have to swim in, you know. And they say, but no, drop me in before you anchor. And then the fisherman will jump off in the water and leave you in the boat. If you want to go, you have to jump out and swim. Why am I telling you that story? Because there is an initial fear about jumping in the water and making the change that you need. But once you jump in the water, you got to paddle, you got to do some strokes, you got belly flap, but you will do something and you must survive until you make it safely to the shore. PDP! And I'm saying, we can make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. We can do that. Don't study Rowley and them. Mind your business. We can do that. Let us do it. Let us come together and do this. Let we fix this. Let we fix this. Don't buy into the campaign of fear. We bought into a campaign of fear in 2013 that sounds similar to the one they're projecting now. 2013, they tell us, stand in defense of Tobago. 2021, they're telling us, protect your future. And then they're trying to tell you all kind of things. And then while they told us all kinds of things in 2013, and you jump with them hoping to stand in defense of Tobago, they were busy giving away Tobago to their friends and the Marish and Parish from West Trinidad. And I'm saying to you, be careful. Own your space. Own your place. Take your place and stand up in this election. Stand for truth and what is right. Stand up in this election. And let us get it done right this time. Let we fix this Tobago. I believe we can fix this. And we will make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. Thank you all, Tobago. I love you all, Tobago. And have a good night.
Play the song, man. Play the song, man. Play the song.
We got them holding on.
All right. Let's say it one more time for our Chief Secretary candidate. Now we want to make sure and let you know that tomorrow, of course, Better New Grange will be up tomorrow. And we want to make sure and invite all our friends and all of that. send them a message and so on to let them jump on the live at 7 tomorrow. Please get home safely. We can't say it enough. Get home safely. Make sure that you protect yourself and do all that is necessary, that you can avoid it being infected by this dreaded COVID that is out there. Okay? God bless you. God bless you. Take care. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you. Take care.